Welcome to our Fallout Complete story. So you want to play Fallout 4, but you don't know anything about this world, except it seems pretty destroyed. Well, the destruction is due to what is known as the Great War. We're gonna explain that in this quick video. In the universe of Fallout, the timeline diverged around the 1950s and the 1960s, so culture didn't progress very much. We'll explain how that works later, but I wanted you to be aware because the Great War doesn't begin until 2077. And the Great War is what is shown in the trailer for Fallout 4. We'll also be doing a complete timeline for the entire series soon, just to make sure you understand everything. The Great War is what the players of Fallout know as the Nuclear War. Regardless of the time period the universe appears to be in, this actually happened at 2077. It came out of what is known as the Resource War. As of the year 2050, fossil fuels were becoming scarce, and every nation began a mad scramble to get what was left of it. This started many small military conflicts all over the globe, and as the years went on, things just got progressively worse, with reports of fuel eventually costing over $700 a gallon. This eventually led to nuclear threats, terrorists popping up, and the Great War. No one truly knows who launched the first nuclear weapon, but President Richardson does inform the player in Fallout 2 that it was the Chinese. The nuclear blast and fallout only lasted 2 hours from what the reports are telling us, but it was so destructive that it completely reshaped the world around and caused the fall of the human civilization across the globe. The blasts were so mighty, whole mountains were created from the ground's reshaping, and many of the rivers and sources of water were now contaminated with radioactivity. The climate was also changed, as now the entire world suffered from a single permanent season of scorching radioactive desert summers. For the USA, it was the West Coast that got hit first. This allowed the East Coast to receive a brief warning, though it didn't help much. Just a few more people managed to get to the vaults. To make matters even worse, very few people believed the sirens were real and assumed it was just a drill. The ones that did listen got to the vaults, and the ones that didn't listen tried their best to hide. Very few people survived from that, but the ones that did changed over into ghouls and started to form ghoul communities. It was these survivors and ghouls that would form the first civilization post the bombs, because the vaults with normal people didn't open for at least 20 years. But due to the experimentation performed on the vault's inhabitants, they didn't fare much better when they tried to make their way in this new world. But back to the actual blast, about a week after the initial blast, it rained for 4 days straight, and it was radioactive rain filled with soot. Completely undrinkable, it managed to kill off many of the animal and plant life that had survived. Plant life had it the worst, as most of the pre-war plant life died off between the blast and the rain, leaving only the new radioactive plants to survive. Las Vegas was one of the few cities to get by kind of well, as Robert House predicted this 20 years before it happened and prepared Las Vegas. They even had power in the year 2038, over a century after the fallout. From what we've seen in the Fallout 4 trailers, it'll open with this war starting as explosions are going off all over and people are running for the vaults. But what happens afterwards, we have no idea. So if you want to know more about the vaults, make sure you subscribe, because we're going to be doing a complete listing of the vaults in a very short and concise video very soon. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a like. Follow us on Twitter @IllegibleMonster, and I'll see you guys next time.